Y'all ready?
Somewhere we can grow. Somewhere where we hear us out. Things you wanna know. It's here at
Talks with Tez.
Where it all began. We do not play pretend. Go and tell a friend. It's here at
Talks with Tez.
Up the bed in the morning. On my phone charting, I'm going in. Before I get about to go, it's emotion. That's a lie. Just know we going. Get it together. Talk about that shit on the regular. We ain't going away. We're on Talks with Tez.
Yo, welcome back to Talk with Tez. It's me, Cortez Shaw. I miss you guys so much. Before we go any further, let me start by saying that the data on the last episode, we were not able to recover it. That's why we had the technical issue last week. Basically, I gotta be more careful with the hard drive, y'all. The hard drive dropped, and we thought we could restore the data, and we could not. Yeah, so I had to re-record it for you guys. But I don't necessarily regret that. I did because it made my work a little harder. But one, I learned something. I gained something out of it. I am better prepared to move forward in the future, just in case something like that happens. Also, just to be more careful with the things that I do have. But secondly, because I now know how to do things in the future. Like, you know, set myself up for success so that that never happens again. So everything that happens to you is not necessarily a bad thing that happens to you. It just depends on how you look at it, your perspective. I'm choosing to take that as a lesson as opposed as a loss. That aside, a lot of y'all have been asking, is this plant real? I don't know if I can see it blowing today. It's hot in the studio today. It's hot, okay? It's hot. We put a work order in for the AC. Listen, whenever they come out is when we're gonna, you know what I mean? I don't want to get back there and start messing things up. But yes, this is a real plant, and I'm honestly, this is a real plant. This is a real plant, and I'm embarrassed because how's it that I know my way around the kitchen? I know my way around a lot of things in life. I can fix a car. I can build a space, a building, a house. I can repair things, but I cannot keep a plant alive. Like, I really never even gave it any thought. Like, honestly, this wasn't even my thought to have this piece of greenery in here, if I'm being 100% honest. But it was like, it's gonna make it pop. It's just gonna make it, you know. I don't even think that deeply. I don't. I come to understand, and I think it was pointed out to me that as a man, I'm a minimalist. As long as I have what I need and it's nice and it looks good, I'm good. I don't need a lot. But yeah, this is a real plant. Wish me best of luck with keeping it alive. Like, shake my head. Without further ado, another hot topic right now. I've been sharing my weight loss journey, and a lot of you guys have been super supportive, and I truly thank you and appreciate you. But it wasn't so much as the reason I decided to share, because I was honestly never going to share it at all. But I said I've always been transparent about everything in my life, and with them, you know what I'm saying, not all the way transparent about. The reason I decided to share it, I'm a little stopped up, guys. Geez. The reason I decided to share it is because I've always been transparent. My superpower has always been my truth. It's crazy, beautiful, eclectic, wild. I mean, you choose whatever my truth is, but that's always been my superpower, is be able to like walk in that and appreciate me in all those spaces. And for some reason, when I got big, I was like, yeah, we're just gonna pretend this chapter of my life like didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Take pictures from certain angles, boom, 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 and keep it moving. It never happened. Yeah, I got big. I got big, guys. I gained 85 pounds over the course of 4 years. And it started with COVID, sedentary lifestyle, you know, being in love when y'all just start eating a lot, you know, and then the stresses of life. And then it's just like all these things. And then, of course, being the narcissistic, abusive relationship I've talked to you guys so many times before about, all those things coupled up. And at least your boy getting big, okay? And I didn't want to share it, but I decided to share it because not only can I help people get back to themselves. It's not about losing weight. It's about just getting back to you. Because what if your thing is not even losing weight? It's just about you want to feel happy again. You want to feel alive again. You like to feel, you know, or If you've never felt that way, you like to feel that way. If I can help somebody get to like a positive side, that's what I'm gonna do. So I can help people lose weight, and then I can also free people. A lot of times we attribute our weight to just food, but we don't actually deal with the root cause of why do we turn to food? Why is food a coping mechanism? You know what I'm saying? Why it may be good. Oh my God, that food be so good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, man. Listen, the food be good, okay? But you can't forget about yourself. Everything is within portion. You just gotta. I'll give more details as to how I lost my weight. I did drop. So to catch everyone up, I did drop about 50 pounds in 3 months in a week. And I'm about 27 pounds from goal. So I think another 2 months of just dedication and consistency with what I've been doing will absolutely get me to my results of where I would like to be. I'm happy in this space right now, even if it stops. So I think that's another thing too, is just about appreciating yourself in every part of your damn journey. And not being like, oh God, no, like listen, we all go through changes. I'll have an episode about that, how I lost my weight, what I did to get there, and all that good stuff. All right, without further ado, we're gonna jump back into these relationship questions. I'm so mad we didn't get to keep the last episode. Some of those moments are just like, we side subject real quick. Okay. But for those of you who do not know, I love the show Bel-Air. Okay, the new reprised version of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think Will Smith is the executive producer, or one of the executive producers, starring Will, Coco Jones and Jabari, and the guy who plays Carlton, who does an incredible job. Like, bro, why do I hate you this much? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I feel sad for you because I get it. I get your story. I get that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard, and you have to do what you have to do to get to where you're going. But man, the way they were able to make us love Will in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, then love Will in the new reprised version of Bel-Air, not hate Carlton growing up, but like, Carlton, bro, we love you, and the character, not Alfonso, but the character, we love you, but you do too much. You know what I mean? But then, I feel like they dramatically increased. This is clearly a drama because the level of genius, I would say, that the writers did when they created Carlton's role in the drama is like, first of all the characters, all their stories are just amazing. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, but anyway, I love that show. Okay, I love that show. I was just saying, listen, they say manifest, put it out there in the universe. If you guys are looking, you know what I mean, you're on the prowl for someone who can, I would love to be a part of the show. No, I would just love to be a part of the show and bring my creativity and my expertise. I do act. I'm a great actor, and I take my craft very seriously. Not just in this space. In this space, I'm absolutely not acting or sing. Well, I do sing, and I will act, but I'm not acting. I would love to be a part of that show, and I would even go as far. You guys know I'm a writer. So I would even go as far as saying, I would even like spitballing off the brain. Bring a character in, if it's not me, but it should be. Bring a character in that is the love child of Phil and a former lover of his, right? Maybe someone he stepped out on Vivian with, and yeah, you know what I mean? And now this character comes into play, and the kid is from around the way, but also have been exposed to like great opportunities. So in a way, he's never knew this child. He doesn't know this child. The connection or the parallel is, we all know how like Phil had that moment where he was at odds with the fact of where he come from and then where he's going. Being a black man from around the way, like most of us, and then trying to esteem to become more or do more and, just be better. And his child is a direct replica of that. Kind of how like Will is, urban. Will is urban, but with he's learning the reform. And then just like in the sitcom, and then you have Carlton, who is extremely reformed and very conservative, and you know what I mean. And then you have this love child. I don't know if it would be a love. Yeah, I guess it would be a love child of a former relationship. You know, he's dealing with that dynamic that brings Will and Carlton together, or they're able to understand each other from a different depth, or they both don't like this new kid. And that's what brings them closer, because this kid challenges a lot of things. I don't know. And then what that looks like in the relationship with Vivian and Will, and I hope I'm saying her name right. I think her name is Vivian, right? Vivian and Will, and how that dynamic is, and how she's having to learn to retrust him, because we already know right now she's stepping out potentially with Reed. You know what I mean? The painter. I don't know. I just feel like that'd be really good. I don't know. I know you guys are like, listen. I write, okay? I come up with the craziest, grandest ideas. I'm like, I just jot it down. But moving on, we're going to get into today's episode about relationships and the crazy questions you guys asked. You guys asked me, then, yeah, let's get into it. All right, so one of the questions I remember that I don't even have to pull up was, if I know my guy is cheating, is it okay if I go back out there and cheat? I'm like, it just depends on where you are in your journey. If you're do you want real love, or do you want ego love? Ego love, go get your lick back. You know, give them what they gave you. Real love, either walk away or communicate about what led to that, what that looks like. Is there accountability on his end? You know what I mean? He has to have accountability on his end for what he put you through, and then you have to be accountable, because while the act of something is deplorable or terrible, they're still leading things up until the act, right? So yes, the guy may have physically gone and cheated, but in reality, why did he cheat? Is it because he has mommy issues? You know what I'm saying? Something with him, or is it that you have issues to where you don't let people in, and his verbalization or his display of how he felt was absolutely wrong and needs to be corrected? But maybe you also need to go back to the drawing board and see how you're showing up, and maybe you need to let your guard down and let people in a little more. You know what I mean? And because maybe the girl he cheated with she was more open and more willing. Not to say it's ever okay. It's never okay. It's never okay. But how do we get past this moment, and then how we assure it will never happen again? I think that's the point. I think a lot of times we get so involved in our egos, we get so mad about how somebody did us. Listen, guilty. You know what I'm saying? We, not ever physically, but being transparent, we've dealt with that in our life. Not on a physical level ever many years ago. But what helped us get past that moment, and I know that's letting you guys in a little too deep, but if I'm a talk it, I'm a walk it. What helped us get past that moment was just conversations of how we even got there. What did that even look like? What inspired us to even be in that space with one another to even, you know what I'm saying? And until you ready to have those kind of conversations, you really gonna act out of ego every time, and you're gonna just looking for your lick back. And then not only that, but let's just say you leave that relationship, you're just gonna attract somebody on that same type of time and vibration, because that's the same vibration you're on. You're not fully in the space to walk in your truth and be accountable, which therefore attracts and manifests abundance in love and life and spirit. That's kind of how it all works. All right. That was just one of the questions I remember from last week. I was like, I don't have to read that one. I remember that question. All right. That said, let me pull these questions up. Do you got a question? Yeah. Oh, do you got a question? Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, y'all, I'm that random. And I was absolutely that guy or that kid growing up, you know what I'm saying, hooping or playing football and just bust out in song. Like right now, that's what we do on Cortez. Okay. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, people join in, they're like, hey. And then there were sometimes they were just like, damn, Tez. All right, my boy. It's okay. It's just a lot going on today, y'all. It's hot. Bear with me. Okay. It says, so for a while now, I have been thinking about leaving my boyfriend. I love him so much, but I feel like he's holding me back. Ooh. He didn't work for for the first 2.5 years or 2.5 years of our relationship. Got a job for 6 months. Damn, this is long. Okay, let's see. 6 months and then lost it, and ever since he has been trying to look for one. Beginning of the year, I felt like he was barely trying until now, when I'm being more honest to him about not being sure if I will stay. Why am I reading like that, y'all? All right, not being sure if I will stay if he doesn't find one soon. Almost 4 years in our relationship, he has stayed in the same spot. We don't travel, go out to eat. We don't even make expensive things to eat. We have to be on a budget, go do fun things, do spontaneous things, etc. If we do, I'm the one that pays for it. It's a little all over the place grammatically, but I'm absolutely following you for sure. I have been paying for 90% of things in our relationship. I'm 25, he's 29. Okay, so there's an age difference. Spent my early 20s not being able to fully enjoy my life because of him. Well, I'll get to that in a second, because nothing is ever because of the other person. We are subjecting ourselves to things as well, and that's the part of accountability. But it's not to say what you're saying about him is not accurate. All right. Am I asking for too much? Do I wait for him to look for a job? Has he shown me he got rejected, in parentheses? Or do I believe and heal and enjoy my life being free? It's a little more. He says once he has a job, he's going to pay for everything. We're going to do everything. But once he gets a job, he needs to take that money and get his life together. It seems like we are in two different parts of our lives. I'm paying off debt, getting ready to save to buy a house. I already have a good savings, or maybe potentially move out of state if I move up in my job. I'm also going back to school in August. He's just at home with no money, no savings, no job, no car even. I feel horrible, but maybe we were just meant to teach each other a lesson. Okay, there's more, but listen, it was already long enough. Okay, to begin with, it's a few different things I'll say, in my opinion, right? If you're wanting true love, because that's the only space I know how to operate from now, you know what I'm saying? I definitely can get petty, you know what I'm saying? I got it in me, but a few things. I think you stated before, again, you lost a lot of your 20s or your early part of your life because it was because of him. The accountable part is saying that, no, I chose to stay here. I chose to be in the situation. I chose to be here. And that was the lesson, like you said, that I needed to learn from myself, to just choose myself. You have to learn to choose yourself. Loving someone, but if you love someone to your detriment, that's not love. That is self-sabotage, and that is a trauma bond. Okay, I want to say that again. If you love someone to your detriment, right? If let's just say you want to help them, whatever, and by you helping them, they are still taking you down, and you still say, "But I love them. I'm doing this because I love them." But it's now to your detriment. Now you're taking the L, and you are ending up in the same exact shoes you were trying to save someone else from. That is self-sabotage, and that is a trauma bond. There's something you guys connected on, or something that you guys, a familiar space between you guys maybe, and for a moment it was safe, but then you're ready to grow, and maybe the other person not growing at the same rate you're growing at, and that is a trauma bond, and you have to break that, because if not, then you will remain stagnant and you will cap out. He's 25, I'm 29, so the age difference not too bad. Are you asking for too much? You're not asking for too much. All right, as far as the type of guy that you're with, you said, should you wait for him to... Now, this is my opinion. You do what you feel is best for you. I can't tell you what to do, okay? I want to make that very clear. I cannot tell you what to do for your life. What I would say is, if someone has shown you consistently for 2.5 years that they haven't been able to lock down a job, they haven't been able to secure any funds, or a place of their own, or a car of their own, and then you're just kind of still waiting for the same reality. When we start to be honest with ourselves about ourselves, we can be honest with others. What are you lying to yourself about? Because right now you are fixating on what he's not doing. And when we fixate on what someone else is not doing, kind of like the person in my life, right? When I spent a lot of time and stayed there, whatever, I wasn't being accountable that I wasn't choosing myself. So a lot of the towers or the hard moments I was facing or going through with this person was because I was still there. I had never gained the courage to walk away. I think if someone's shown me over the course of 2.5 years that ain't nothing really changing, I mean, even if it changes, it's brand new. So what's, you know what I mean? Is it gonna last? Whereas for, you know what I mean? It's another thing if for 2.5 years, and I'm just keeping it a buck, and this, I gotta tell people I'm from around the way. I've just been exposed to opportunity. It's another thing if for 2.5 years he hasn't clocked in for somebody, but he been going to the plasma donation place and letting them stick them and get like what, $100 a week, 2 times a. If for 2.5 years he did what he had to do, and took care of the house needs and made sure things were good there, and also just found little ways to come up on money or do something to like better his situation. I don't know that it's gonna change. I think maybe sometimes you know what I mean. That's my advice. That's my advice. I don't know what else to say on that. To be honest with you, for me, I would think at this point it's just probably time to just go ahead and go make it easy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's like Sunday morning. Yes, I fucked up. All right, so getting to the next question here, and I hope the next question is not as long because that was a lot. Okay, it's not that long. All right, if my partner of 3 years chooses to go on a family vacation without me, no invitation, because his mother and father don't like me, I've never been disrespectful and still would never. He just went to them before whenever we would have our disagreements, so his mother has cussed me and been super disrespectful. Is it wrong of me to ask him not to go? If my partner, okay, 3 years chooses to go on a family vacation without me, Okay, so for 3 years, what I take from this, for 3 years you haven't been on good terms with the mom. Obviously, she's territorial over her youngest, her child. Unfortunately, with moms, a lot of times no one's good enough for their child. But that's also signs of a toxic ass mother. If you're great, if you're doing your part, then I think asking him not to go with his family is a little much. Because who are you to ask someone not to go and celebrate who they think they should go and celebrate with? I think the deeper question would be is maybe are the conversations not being had? The part you actually need is reassurance from him that it's you and him. You know what I'm saying? So we deal with this in my relationship to a degree with the parent of mine where so overbearing. No, my partner's never good enough, and even while being amazing, literally being amazing, I think it's up to your person, your spouse, the person who's that direct relative of that mother. Like I had to tell my mom, like, no, you can't talk to this person, you can't talk to me like that, you can't do this. I think it's important that you set the precedence of how someone should treat the one that you love, because if not, what I've heard, what I remember reading, you never allow the family you come from to affect the family that you're growing or you're building. And a lot of times that's what actually messes up a lot of marriages. And because while they may be married, while they actually may get together, while they may be booed up, whatever you want to say, they never truly ever choose each other. Their parents are always still priority in their mind over their spouse. And it's not that your parent isn't priority, it's that you love your parent from a different space. But you know what I mean? Everyone has their own space. So it's like an equal thing. But a lot of times in relationships, if your person is not reassuring you that they have your back or that they're looking out for your best interests, because I'm sure if he had told his mom about how she treats you, or, set healthy boundaries or reprimanded her, or maybe even just made the choice not to go on the trip out of respect for you until she respects you. Where, you know what I'm saying? Where you don't necessarily tell him, I don't want you to go, because that's you demeaning that's you not walking in your value and you know what I mean? If you have to ask someone to choose you, not saying, and I'm not trying to say anything's wrong with your relationship, but I think that's the conversations that need to happen, is that I think that either it could be the perspective you view it from is not what reality is, but if everything and everybody else sees what you see, and then your person is just, well, that's my mom, I get it, but that's my mom. I think that you guys got to start having some real questions, because if not, when does it stop? Will it stop? I don't know that it'll stop. I don't know. Not in my experience. I tell you that. Listen, if you don't make a decision will be made for you. All right, moving on. All right, y'all got a lot of it's this dude on IG like stank booty. It just reminded me of back home. All right, so is it okay for your friend to help out is it okay for your boyfriend to help out a friend from high school they barely even talk to nor hang out to let a female in your boyfriend's house to stay the night? Y'all questions be loaded. It's so much context that is not in this question. This is pent up energy. Is it okay for your boyfriend to help out a friend from high school? They barely listen to help out a friend from high school. They barely even talk nor even hang out. So that's attitude and spice in there. Or maybe that's how I'm perceiving it. They barely even talk or hang out. And let a female in your boyfriend's house to stay the night. I don't know. I feel like who are we to tell our spouse who they can and can't help? I think the bigger issue again, I feel like we be looking at like the symptom of some shit. You know what I mean? We look at the symptom of something and not the root cause. I think that if you have to question his intention to wanting to help her, it's conversations that y'all are gonna start having to have, because that's not this isolated event. If he's never done anything in you all's relationship to give you a reason, or maybe if you guys are not currently in a space to have a reason to not trust him, you wouldn't have these questions. If you are in that space of you're trying to ask yourself, because clearly there's been things in the past that have happened. Now, I don't know if you've okayed it. I don't know if he okayed it. I don't know what that looks like. But this one isolated event, you're trying to consolidate to say, am I tripping on this? And you're now starting to gauge for outward opinions of something you may already know. If you're in a space, either you may have to, I don't know you personally, but maybe it's the way you view things. Make sure it's not you showing up like being insecure from like a past situation. But if you've been in this relationship with somebody who's had you in a space where you question trust, or you question what's being done or what's happening, I think y'all gotta start having real conversations about real shit and get down to the bottom of it and figure out, why don't y'all trust each other? Is it because of the things y'all put each other through, or is it because of things y'all dealt with outside of each other and now y'all making each other pay for it? Is it the girl? Is it because the way she dressed is something it makes you feel a certain type of way? Do you have body image issues? I don't know. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but hopefully that helped. But I mean, okay, in totality, now to keep it a buck, to allow, if Bay had, Bay's gay, so he doesn't like girls, but okay, if Bay had a friend from high school I've never heard nothing about, randomly he wants to help him and let him spend the night, I would just have more questions. You know what I'm saying? I would have questions. I want to gain clarity. What does this entail? You know, how do you know him? Just have questions just so you can get an understanding, because it really could be nothing. It really could be a friend from high school where it was a thing of high school. That person hit a hard spot. They call somebody who they always can lean on. But if y'all have that trust in that establishment that you guys are both helping this person, right? And maybe that night, to be comfortable, I would like to stay there with you just so it gives her the right idea of, and if he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, attack it like a team, then that reassures you. I don't know. Hopefully that helps. Okay, listen, y'all. That's it on today's episode of Talks with Tez. Relationship advice. I don't know which number this is. I think it's like number 3 or 4. Please come back next week. Don't forget, we have the $150 giveaway coming up on the 6th episode. You have to follow every social media account and comment giveaway. Okay? That means YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm forgetting the rest of them, but follow every social account and comment giveaway to be eligible to win the $150 giveaway. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but $150, listen, we can go get something good to eat, put a little bit in the tank, or just get something to eat. It depends on how bouge are you looking for it to be. And I don't even know if that's really bouge, $150. I don't know. That's definitely not bouge. No, not at all. You can do a lot with $150, okay? You can do a lot. And even if you're not trying to do something like that, if you're a family or somebody who is, you just need an extra 150 just to get you over to next week, whatever your circumstance or your story is, it is worthy, it is valuable, it is beautiful. We got to keep having conversations and talking to each other. I love you guys with everything in my body. As y'all can see, I'm becoming a little more comfortable with this setting. It's getting a little more comfortable. I thank you guys so much. I love you. Keep healing, keep growing, keep being you, keep being amazing. There is new music on the way, baby. Peace. Today's episode was sponsored by a company based here in Atlanta called Baked Angels. Our mission is to create unique flavor experiences with each bite bringing us closer to community conversation using fresh baked goods. Listen, guys, they specialize in things like New York style stuffed cookies, cake jars, layered cakes and pound cakes, cream puffs and eclairs, sweet rolls, gummies, infused cookies, creative culinary creations, soul food, you name it. Y'all, whatever it is you're craving, whether it be a dessert or something fucking savory, go there now. Baked Angels on Instagram. You will not regret it. Trust me.
Talks with Tez.